It's your boy Crypto Magnet, and today we're here on an AMA with the founder of Animal Farm Forex Shark. So tune in, guys.
So we're seeing. I'm getting a bit of an echo. You're talking. That might help. Yeah. Um, so I'm not worried at all about a bear market. In fact, I think we'll shine better than ever in a bear market. And as far as sustainability, yeah, for some of the reasons I already spoke to, I don't want to get deep into the details unless you have questions about them, about the actual, mechanics of the staking system and all that. This has been talked about plenty of times. People can look into it, check out the other AMAs if they want the details. But the system itself is designed to pay out less than it cash flows in, and its ability to onboard new users has a protocol that allows for exponential growth. And then when you look at BSC, it makes up a small portion of overall crypto markets. Crypto makes up a very small portion of global markets. Crypto is the fastest growing global market in the world. So we have an almost unlimited ceiling of growth ahead of us as far as the untapped markets. If you look at our
One moment, guys.
engagement that we get globally, it's almost all out of the U.S. 80+% from the U.S. The rest is almost all in Europe. We have a little bit in Asia, but we haven't even begun to tap into some of the extremely viral global markets like India and China and Brazil, and we have all of that ahead of us. Now, when you look at our onboarding of new users, we are outpacing every single protocol on BSC, but our TVL is, a tenth of the size of other projects in the top 5 on DApp Radar as far as ranking. Our volume is a tenth of the size. The only reason why we're ranked number 2 on DApp Radar for DeFi on BSC is because our growth analytics are so strong that that value overshadows all the other values that they use to determine ranking, like volume, like pricing, like TVL. So it's only a matter of time before we end up with volume and TVL on par with our peers in the top 5. And, it's simple math. Anybody can do the math and see if we get a TVL on par with the other projects that have top 5 ratings on DApp Radar, that's a $3,000 to $5,000 drip. And by the time we get there, then we have so much momentum behind us that
You guys heard it.
that as a ceiling.
$3,000 to $5,000 per drip.
Putting into work some of the other things on our roadmap, such as opening up our decks to servicing other tokens and having a share of all transactions of these other tokens, feeding capital back into the system, and all these other things that I think we'll be able to use to unseat the number 1 DApp on BSC, which is PancakeSwap, and grow at rates that make our current growth look minimal. I'm extremely, extremely positive about the future of Drip and the sustainability of Drip.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, thanks for speaking into that. So I wanted to move into Animal Farm. I'm sure that's what most of the people here are mostly interested in, is the Animal Farm and stuff that's going on with that. So I guess just from my experience, I'm pretty heavily invested in the Animal Farm, and the farms have been paying out really high. The pools have been lesser, and obviously the pig pen hasn't been paying out much. You talked about this a little bit earlier. Do you want to just maybe speak again to kind of the long-term plan behind, specifically, why should pig holders, as the price is going up now, why should pig holders not sell?
Yeah, well, so the payout in APY was always designed to be substantial because we wanted to pay out a higher APY than other projects that have been somewhat sustainable as far as price appreciation and price stability. And we want to pay out this higher APY while still remaining stable as far as price and price appreciation through the other mechanics we built into the system. Now, the pig pen, as you said, all the other pools are paying out high APY, but the Pigpen.
So today we're just
is
watching,
relatively
listening to
low
Forex Shark.
relative
He is an
to
AMA right now over on the Animal Farm Telegram, and just giving people updates on the project.
This is by
Before
design,
this
the
AMA,
Pigpen is
I
specifically designed
threw some more
to be
pigs
a
in the
valley
pig's pen to get some
transfer
more of those
from weak hands to strong hands.
BUSD
And we do this
reflections. So
by
I'm big bullish
directing
on Drip Nation,
almost
Animal
all of
Farm,
the
and
cash
all that
flow
they're doing
that
over there.
is,
So let's go check out Animal Farm right
created
now.
through deposit fees and taxes associated with the platform, turning that into BUSD, where 30% of it is made immediately available as claimable to the Pigpen, and the other 70%, so almost all of it, goes into a vault that pays out 3% of its balance a day to the Pigpen. This ensures that this vault is going to continuously grow because it's paying out
Got my guardian too, guys.
small portion of the capital that's coming into it. So it's specifically designed to capture value that is being created through the trading of the underlying assets and the staking of the underlying assets through deposit fees, and continue to accumulate these BUSD rewards in the vault. So the 3% that is paying out daily is increasing every day, week by week, month by month, and starts out, relatively small compared to where it will be in the near future, but is constantly growing. And this is time-weighted rewards. So you can look at the documentation or any of the AMAs I did before launch, and I specifically stated that the rewards being paid on the Pigpen are time-weighted, which means the longer you stay in there, the higher your rewards are going to be. And we're less than 2 weeks from launch. So, this gives you some perspective on the play to be had in the Pigpen. The play is to be accumulating pig tokens and growing your share of the Pigpen as the BUSD in the vault accumulates. So by the time the 3% daily payout, the drip that's happening from the vault gets substantial, now you have a large share of it. And people that are paying attention to the BUSD in the vault see that it's over 4 million. It started out with something like 1.2 million on day one. So we're like less than 2 weeks after launch, and we've already more than 4x'd our BUSD in the vault, and we're just getting started. And we still have millions of dollars which were migrated over from the Manor Farm to the Animal Farm that needs to be injected into the Pigpen and also used for buybacks. I didn't want to immediately execute that capital into the Pigpen or into the dog and pig tokens through buybacks after launch, because I don't want to just be giving capital to weak hands that want to try to cash out 2 weeks after launch. This is capital that's designed to get us started off strong but sustainable, to build a strong, or to create a strong base that we can then build off of. So the long-term play on the farm is to accumulate in the Pigpen. So as this BUSD accumulates in the Pigpen vault, you have a greater share ownership of those 3% daily payouts and a greater share ownership of the 30% BUSD that's generating the cash flow that becomes immediately claimable to you. Now, I realize that there are always going to be some share, and especially in crypto, it could be a large share of people that are not always looking at the long-term play.
Nope.
They want something.
I'm a long-term investor.
A higher risk on.
So every profit I make from my Drip BUSD pool right here, I reinvest right back into the Pig's Pen.
So we developed a game which is similar to the Drip Garden that allows you to see a higher daily ROI. Of course, with a higher daily ROI, there's going to be a element of risk there, but we're taking all of the best elements of the Drip Garden, which have proven to be extremely sustainable. The Drip Garden is 4 or 5 months old, something like that, and our contract balance is hitting all-time highs. We just hit a new all-time high contract balance yesterday, so it's growing better than ever. And we're adding in an element of time locking to time lock your harvest to get an increased principal, and also an element that allows you to see a larger commission for a larger referral commission based on how many dogs you have staked in the farm and in the pools. So the way that dogs gets its value is, for one, being tradable on the market, so you can trade it for BUSD or BNB, and more importantly, its main utility is as a vehicle that allows you to earn pigs through farming and staking. Now, if you don't see the long-term, the long-term perspective value of pigs, then you might be more likely to sell your dogs. But if you see the long-term perspective of pigs, which those who understand the protocol and have taken the time to learn it do see that, and that's why we have millions and millions of dollars staked in the pig pen, then you see the value of farming and staking your pigs over selling them. But for the people that don't have a long-term perspective, either because they don't understand the protocol or they just have short horizons when it comes to crypto investing, we are creating exponentially more value for them as well through the game. So this game is going to provide a ton of value for both the pig token and the platform as a whole, which in turn creates a increasingly and an aggressive increase in value.
As you guys can see, the value is just going up each and each moment.
Selling your dog tokens, you're going to want to use those dog tokens to get as much pigs as possible as you can for your capital, and then compound that into the pig game or the pig pen based on what your time horizon is for your investment. And I believe what most people will do is a mix of both. You could go 50-50, you could go 30% in the pig pen if you're more of a long-term player and you want to be there as an owner when the platform is 10 or 100 times larger than it is now, and you're making 3% of $40 million instead of 3% of $4 million. Or maybe you have a shorter term perspective, but you want to get some exposure to the long term game. Maybe you go 70% in the game and 30% in the pig pen. So it's a major new addition that we're about to add. The development is just about done. We expect it to be finished by Monday, and this is because we were already working on it before we announced it. And next week, I plan to get the white paper out there. I plan to give a launch date for it and to start promoting it. And I couldn't be more excited about the impact that this is going to have on the platform as a whole and the game as a standalone product. I think that we could launch this game as a standalone product and it would be extremely successful. But having it as part of the larger ecosystem makes it that much more powerful and raises all ships in a major way. So I'm very, very excited about it.
I think that's super cool. I don't know if you're able to do this at all, but are you able to give, so like I can see, I'm getting, from an investor standpoint, I'm getting, 2.5% a day or whatever on my dog WBNB pool, or I'm, getting 3% from the drip garden. Do you have any predictions or able to give us any, concrete numbers for pig pen production, in the future from an investor standpoint?
Yeah, so I have an answer for this. The reason why I didn't give that kind of APY or daily ROI in the
Be right back, guys.
is because you're not only getting the payout from the vault, you're also getting 3%. You're also getting 30% of all BUSD that is generated from deposit fees immediately claimable to you. And if I was to put an APY or an ROI based on the BUSD that's paid out from the vault, it's going to be significantly less than what you'll actually get because it's not including all the BUSD that's paid out through immediately claimable rewards. And in this case, it's also not wouldn't be accounting for the millions of BUSD we have, both through the collateral rehypothecation, which is always generating BUSD on the back end, and through the migration from L1 to L2. So I'm hesitant to do it because I know that value is going to be significantly less than what people will actually get paid. And if you're going to have a claim on what you're going to pay out, you never want to have that claim to be significantly less what they'll actually get, because then, people see that value and will think, oh, well, that's, I thought I would get more, etc. Or, you never want to, greatly underestimate what you're going to pay people when you're trying to attract them to the protocol. And if we were to give that kind of, APY or ROI value to the pig pen, we would be doing that. And I don't want to disservice the participants of the existing system, by not optimally attracting people, through not giving, the most optimal figures as far as what new people would get paid. And it's impossible to do that without predicting the future. So I have a feeling that there's people that will do the math and will create tools that allow people that do want to get those figures to see just what will I make from the vault itself. That might already be done, actually, and I know I could do that, but there's reasons why I don't want to have it on the front page. I just gave you the majority.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. So would you say, from your perspective, that the entire animal farm is functioning as expected, and the people who are patient with dogs and with pigs, it will be worth it in the long run for them?
Oh yeah, absolutely. It takes time for game theory and mechanics to work and start to snowball. And if you look at Rev, you look at B-Reap, you look at Drip, you look at basically everything I've ever launched, and any other solid project out there that has a lot of hype behind it, what happens is you have a launch. This launch, goes way overboard, because the hype is so built up, and then you have a correction, and then the people who are left over after the correction are people that are believers in the system, and now the merit of the system and the game theory start to work, and that's when you have true growth based on the mechanics and the merits of the platform itself. And every single project I've ever launched had a big pump at listing, had a 70-80% correction. It stayed down there for a couple weeks, and then started building, and then started pumping, and then made all-time highs, and then the mechanics and game theory are in full swing, and people recognize that, and we attract way more users than we did in the first week or two. If you look at Drip, if you look at any of my projects, we're attracting way more users on a daily basis than we did in the first week or the second week or launch. It's not even comparable. So people that think that the launch or the first week are most important, yeah, they're important, but what's important is that you launch a working system that is functioning as designed. So then you start to see the results that you had planned for, and the projections that you made start to play out, and the game theory starts to function. And yeah, all systems are functioning perfectly. We had a major hype at launch, as everybody expected. We had a correction, as anybody who's been a part of any of these projects before would expect. And now you see that we've been cementing a bottom for the past few days, and now we're starting to make moves up. These moves up are based on the mechanics working, the fact that the people that are in the project now are people that understand the system and are in the system, for the long haul. The new people that are being onboarded are not being onboarded based on hype. They're being onboarded based on the merits of the system. And now the game theory is working, and the referral system starts to snowball and do its work. And on top of this, the dynamic supply control algorithm just had an adjustment last night, which restricted the supply as exactly as designed. So we saw the bottom was starting to be cemented over the past few days. Now,
that's it, guys. You guys can go over to the Telegram, the Animal Farm, the Drip community. Forex Shark is telling everyone, why y'all being paper handlers? If you don't see the long-term vision, don't come a part of the project. But don't call him a scammer and all those other things. Shout out to Forex Shark. The garden, I'm a part of the Drip Garden. I'm a part of the Animal Farm. These are some of my strategies that's going to really put more finances in not only my life, but also the people I have put on the list. So, guys, check out the Drip Garden. The link will be posted below. Be a part of the ecosystem. I have a referral code where you can get a bonus just by joining. I'm all about the Drip Garden, the Drip Faucet, and the Drip Nation. This is your boy Crypto Magnet, and I'll see you guys on the moon.